Today I fucked up by realizing that I've been having severe migraines for 20 years from an extremely preventable thing. I'm 27 years old and since age 7 or so, I have been suffering immensely from migraines. Like every single day. I often puke, and end up laying in bed for several hours before bed because the pain is so bad. I also have rheumatoid arthritis and some other issues like nodules in my lungs from the RA inflammation. I was coughing a lot and sometimes there was blood. The pulmonologist tested me for allergies and apparently I am extremely allergic to dust mites and dust, so she suggested Clarine. Took it and it made me feel queasy, so I tried Flonase. Keep in mind, I had no sensation of allergies other than coughing occasionally. So, I had a nasty migraine on Monday and had some mild sinus pain. Took Flonase, popped a Zofran, so as to not vomit. 35-minute use later I am laying in bed with an ice pack on my head and I realized my migraine was gone. Strange. Took Flonase again the next day, and the next and still, no migraine. Too long didn't read, could have lived without migraines for 2 decades but never knew I was allergic to dust mites and could have just taken some cheap OTC Flonase. I spent all of my childhood and teenage years with constant headaches, mostly around my eyes. Went to the eye doctor and they said everything was fine. Then I go off to college and I start drinking more water. My friends influenced me to do it and then all of a sudden no headaches. I was just severely dehydrated as a child and no one bothered to tell me that I needed to drink more water. Now the first question I ask myself when I have a headache is, did I drink enough water today? It's always the simplest things. When I care for a child and they start being cranky, whiny or such, I usually start by offering a glass of water. Once they're hydrated, I can suggest new activities, hugs, whatever, but honestly, their mood usually stabilizes after a half hour, because they were just thirsty. It obviously won't help all migraines, because there are many causes, but regular headaches are probably just regular dehydration. Glad you found it. For me it was smoking. Duh. Flonase often only works for a few months, then you build tolerance. See an allergist before you burn through that buffer, and they can suggest a stable course. Oh no. Good to know, thanks. Go see an allergist. Spent my entire youth with migraines to only find out something in processed meats and cheeses and those cup o' noodles makes me sick. We literally lived off food primarily made of those items. As an adult I rarely get migraines except when I step out of line and eat one of those things because dang they remind me of being a kid and then I regret it. Edit, I should say I started a food diary when I was 15 and this is what led to understanding what was causing my issues. I had headaches all through middle and high school. When I started working, I paid for my dad to throw out the old heater and put up new tapestry. I wanted to help, but he didn't let me. Boom, no more headaches. Sometimes the answer is right in front of you. Today I fucked up by trying to meet new friends over Snapchat and getting robbed. Today I fucked up by going to meet a random girl I recently added on Snapchat. I'm trying to make more female friends, and I naively got catfished into the scariest situation of my entire life. With 420 being just earlier this week, I noticed this chick on Snapchat that was posting a bunch of weed pics. I said some 420 jokes and we kept messaging the rest of the week until the weekend. I mentioned I was all out after the holidays and how hard it's to find in my area and she asked if I had a car. Fast forward to Friday, she's been commenting on my story and my tattoos and pics all week long. She even says she is a tattoo artist and I check out her public profile with a ton of pics of stuff she's done. That's awesome. I just found the coolest friend ever. She smoke and she does tattoos and she wants to even hang out. Sweet, I'm thrilled and pumped myself up. I usually don't drive or really go anywhere by myself, and meeting new people is like a huge social accomplishment for me. Get off work early and start my drive. Halfway down. First red flag. I'm watching her story and she posts a pic saying she just got robbed and only selling to people she knows. KWTF face. I ask if she's alright and if I should turn around. She reply no, keep coming, and that she knows me so it's fine. So badly I wish I had turned around there, but I kept going. Fast forward to 3.5 hours in, I'm into the middle of the city, Being from a small town, I'm freaking out with the crazy traffic. Eventually I make it to the mall address she gave me to meet up. I ask what her address is BC. She said she lived in the house behind it and the plan was to meet up and go smoke and chill and get a tattoo and just hang out. I was super excited to meet someone new and kept telling myself if it's too sketchy I would just dip. Eventually she pulls up next to me, all black Lincoln with pitch black tint windows. Text me to get in. I hop out with my bag and try the driver side passenger door, but it was locked. And squinting through the dark ass tint I could make out someone in the seat. So I was like, okay cool, back seat. But the back door was locked with the someone back there. So I walked around to the driver's side car rear door and opened it and looked into 3 fucking people. Red flag number 2, all had their hoods up and really didn't look me in the face at all. I immediately felt cold and unwelcomed, but I just figured it was BC, they didn't know me. My friend was in the front passenger seat and turned back and told me to get in. BC, I saw her familiar face is the only reason I got into the car. I feel so fucking dumb. I asked why so many people, and she says she just got robbed and to get in BC they were gonna go smoke. Red flag number 3, so I get in and the driver is sketched BC. I had parked around several other vehicles so he drove to the empty part of the parking lot. Once we go there the guy in the back asked for the cash, I handed it over, asked if they had the weed, and then the guy in the back and the driver both pulled out fucking handguns on me, racking the slides back and chambering rounds. I have never felt fucking colder. I couldn't breathe. I was shocked and have never been more scared in my life. Everything from there is kind of a blur. Driver asked me to empty my pockets. I only had my cell phone. I cried I didn't know how to get home without it. They said I could keep it. I had a backpack that I custom inked completely with Giant Word stuff and they ripped it from me and tossed it up front. I was arguing for my backpack back and they were shouting at me to get out of the car. I was panicking and couldn't get the door handle to work. Later it dawned on me it probably was so I couldn't escape if I wanted to. They kept shouting at me to get out, the driver saying don't make me shoot you. The guy in the back put his gun to the side of my head and said don't make me blow your head off and kick your ass out, and started shifting sideways to like starting kicking me with his feet out of the car. I was freaking the fuck out at this point. I hear the girl up front screaming at me to open it from the outside, that when I noticed my window was rolled down. So I reached outside but I still couldn't open it. BC, I was fucking panicking and it was awkward, and I was scared out of my fucking mind. Finally it opened. I felt so fucking relieved to spill from to freedom running from that car, as they sped off back across the parking lot. Back in my Jeep I cried for 20 minutes before I could drive back home. 3.5 hours in crazy 5 o'clock Twin Cities traffic, shell-shocked and trying to register. WTF just happened. Keep telling myself at least I still have my Jeep and my phone, but I was so fucking scared and feel like the dumbest person in the world. I got back in town and took shower and washed my makeup off, then went to friend's house and told my story. BC, nobody even knew where I was or that I was even leaving town. There I couldn't stop think about what happened and what could have happened. During that struggle it could have been so easy for one of them to shoot me or worse, keep driving out of the parking lot and end up dead in ditch somewhere. I've never been more scared in my life. I cried last night, then passed out and woke up this morning and cried again. I'm never meeting new people ever again and staying in my house the rest of my life. And now I have to deal with the fear that I can still feel. I was so scared I woke up today still fucking scared, and it's terrible. Too long didn't read, meet Snapchat friend, drive to cities, ignored multiple red flags, get kidnapped/robbed, down $1,000 in total, run terrified back home. Always tell someone where you are going, and do not meet strangers from online. Edit 1. First off, thank you everyone for the internet hugs. Seriously means a lot. Felt so lost and violated this morning. I can't stop thinking about how scary it was not being able to get out of the car. For everyone saying to report it, I did file an online police report about it, but it's kind of a joke as you can only type a max of 2,000 characters, so it's super short and to the point. but I feel better reporting it. BC at the time I felt so helpless not being to do anything to fight back. Secondly, I tried reporting it on Snapchat, but it's a web of bullshit on their websites and I get frustrated and lost trying to seek out a contact us section. I finally found some website that emailed them my complaint, but it was from their server, so I'm sure it just went to Snapchat's spam. Who knows? I tried reporting her profile, but she either has me blocked or she deleted it, says the profile doesn't exist. Either way, I have a bunch of screenshots of the stuff that everything, so I can try give them all the info if they reply. I sent my friends her Snapchat to have them try to add her too so they can report her. All in all, I still feel dumb for ignoring so many of red flags and must have had my guardian angle that day so nothing worse happened. I do have a therapist foreseen in the past. I might reach out to her if I can get over this in a couple of days, but for now I'll just use Google how to get over being robbed at gunpoint. Again, thanks for all the well wishes and plaza. Stay safe out there everyone. Apparently the world is not all candy and sunshine. Edit 2, shout out to you /strawberrykiss 2559 for giving me hash for the St. Paul Polic DPT. Called and made a report and got a call back from an officer in 15 minutes. I went through a full audio recording on what happened and then he took down as many details as I could remember. After I emailed him what I thought I remember was a partial plate, her profile pic, her tattoo pictures, her name and her Snapchat profile along with several screenshots of the chat and a pic of my backpack. I got a case hash and the officer works tomorrow at 9 AM and will start looking into stuff. I feel way better legit reporting this and have hope these individuals will get what's coming to them. Folded hands. 1. Contact Snapchat Corporate, not just report her account through the app but their actual customer service line. 2. File a police report with as much detail about her, her friends in the car, everything you can remember while it's fresh. 3. Don't be afraid that you were initially there to get some weed. This is way more serious of a crime. You won't get in trouble. Hey, you should definitely contact the police and file a report. I'm sorry that happened, but you need to fight back. Wow, what a read. Forget the money and gas, what's important is you're alive. Glad you made it out uninjured, but you might suffer from trauma, so maybe get yourself checked. Also, like the others said, inform the cops. Don't be too harsh on yourself for your mistakes. You already suffered the consequences, no need to mentally beat yourself up for it further. Are you okay? Yes, feeling blessed to still be alive. Armed robbery carries up to 20 years in Minnesota. Toss in conspiracy and some other stuff, and those individuals could be in jail a long time. 100% go to the police. Also see a therapist. You just experienced a very traumatic event and PTSD is very real. The sooner you get yourself in front of a professional who can help, the better. Today I fucked up by quitting my toxic job. So I worked as a social media marketer for around a year, making $14 an hour, and asked for a raise on my yearly review stating why I deserved it, how I set up analytics accounts for all 6 of our properties, how I implemented app testing on our emails to increase open rates by 18%, etc. Big Boss told me he hasn't seen an increase of revenue, so none of this means anything to him. For reference, earlier in the week I had to take a day off because I was vomiting from the stress of the job, seeing as though I was expected to be available for all our clients before and after work hours. Anything between the hours of 6 AM to 10 PM was fair game. I was also expected to drive to each of our clients around the state and facilitate meetings on how their marketing is going. I hated how I was treated, so I quit on the spot. I didn't give 2 weeks notice because I wanted to see how they managed without me there, seeing as though I was the point of reference for around 4 new hires. $14 an hour. Well, literally 2 days after I quit my job, today, both my husband's car and my car went to shit. I can't believe both on the same MF day! Mine needs $1,800 of repairs, and his needs $1,200. We also got a letter from Homeland Security saying his green card is going to expire this week, so we have to pay $700 by the end of the week or else he's eligible for deportation. He's working at at Chili's right now, so he's making some spare change. But yeah, I really fucked up. I probably shouldn't have quit my job without a backup. Although I am on the second round of interviews for 2 different positions, I now have no way to get to these new jobs unless I bike or take an Uber. We don't have a bus line in our city. So that's my today. I fucked up. Wish me luck, boys. I guess I put this on myself, so I can only be mad at myself. Too long didn't read. Quit my job, had 3 unexpected expenses pop up. Edit, my apologies, I guess it was a letter and not a phone call. I'm not being scammed, but I appreciate the concern. I misspoke as my husband is mostly dealing with the paperwork on his end and I wasn't sure how he got the notice. He's into legal stuff and is good at it.